be there for one another. Love will keep us together. The sun will shine in the end for me and my friends. We're gonna be there for one another. Love will keep us together.
Okay, so I just got back from a tour of Australia. Quite tiring, obviously it's 12 hours behind, so I found myself sleeping in the day and and awake at night times. The highlight of the whole tour was a club called Chinese Laundry. Absolutely incredible. I played in a place called The Cave, which was dark, dirty. I was able to play the music I really liked, the real underground stuff, so that was amazing. So the next single coming out on Toolroom is called Keep Us Together. It's myself, friends of mine called Mara, and Steve Edwards. We all go back a long way because we're all from Sheffield. There's a long history there. I have been playing it in my sets. I have to say, it's possibly one of the biggest records I've got. It's massive. My best gig this year was, without doubt, Nocturnal in LA. It was one of those moments, it was one of those scary, poo your pant moments where I walked out on the stage and there was literally, it wasn't so much a tent, it was a festival, it wasn't so much a tent, it was more like an aircraft hangar. I literally couldn't see the end of the people. It was like 20,000 people in this thing, all going absolutely crazy. And to play Keep Us Together there was just like, wow. So we're in my studio, and it would be a shame not to talk about my favourite piece of studio gear. And I don't know if you can see from here, but there's a thing on the top of that rack, and it's actually called the Thermionic Culture Vulture. Now, you're probably wondering what the hell it is. It's got an interesting name. It's actually a distortion unit, a very expensive distortion unit at that. But what it does, it can handle very subtle distortion, or it can give you the extreme distortions and different types of distortions as well. And it's just amazing. Literally everything that I do goes through that beast, and it can either be subtle or quite hard. New Year's Eve. Woo! This year I'm actually in England and doing 2 gigs, one in Loughborough and one at the Ministry of Sound, both for Toolroom, which is really exciting because I can, from here I drive down to Loughborough, do my first gig there, then get in the car and drive down to London. It's so perfect, beautiful. Every DJ's dream to play at the Ministry of Sound on New Year's Eve, and I'm fortunate enough to be doing that one, which I'm super hyped about.